Hello, Theo traders. Gianni DePocia here with you on the 9th of July, 2024. And there's a lot of really important charts to look at today. Let's start off by checking out the S&P 500 futures rallied to a new all-time high today. We are seeing a little bit of selling this afternoon on this Tuesday, but we do appear on track for our upside price objective in the $5,800, $6,000 level that I actually gave back in the fall. So this bull market has been totally in alignment with our expectations, but underneath the surface, I'm starting to see some important chess pieces move. Yesterday we saw some notable strength in semiconductors and technology. That is a good sign. The NASDAQ hit a new all-time high today. A bit of a breather we're seeing on the tech and chip front today. You see the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index hit a new all-time high, but NVIDIA was up nicely today. It's kind of chopping around, consolidating. I would actually prefer to see NVIDIA not make a new all-time high in the next couple of sessions. I would actually instead rather see it spend a few more weeks, maybe even a couple months in some sideways congestion, which I think would reinforce the bull trend. Our swing long on advanced micro devices continues to work in the right direction. That broke to a new high, taking out the high from May, which is a good sign. Also have along on Micron Technology that we were trying to play off a retest of former resistance turn support. Looks okay, but honestly, one of the stronger chip names that we have on the books right now, one that I've talked about before, is Amkor Technology. Have an upside target around 45 on that, and as you can see here, we are pressing up into the highs of the day, and have also been keeping traders updated on the position in Taiwan Semiconductors, which just rallied to a new all-time high today. But I maintain that the biggest opportunities in this market remain in the biotech sector. So we're seeing nice bids come in the biotechnology index. If you take a look at IBB or XBI, the ETFs that track those sectors, we're pressing up on key resistance. XBI up a little bit more today, but I've been taking on some longs in this space. I've talked about them a little bit. Nurix Therapeutics, that continues to consolidate near its highs after an initial surge out of its base. And just today, we had a stock that was on the watch list, Revolution Medicines, breakout, and this one looks poised to surge higher. Following a similar trajectory to Avidity Biosciences, one that we tracked recently, but I did just add a position in Edgewise Therapeutics here. As you can see, we're seeing resolutions from notable bases in a lot of biotech names, and Edgewise Therapeutics is looking strong. Mirum Pharmaceuticals, I added that to the portfolio yesterday. So this is all doing what I expected it to do. Now, despite healthcare lagging a little bit, I think that biotech has the ability to kind of bring this sector out of its rut. If you look at the two main healthcare stocks in the Dow Jones, you have Amgen, which continues to consolidate near its all-time highs. I find that to be a really bullish chart. And Merck, which is more in the pharmaceutical classification, but nonetheless under the broader healthcare umbrella, and has some gray area with the biotech space as well. So I'm looking for this to really start to accelerate, especially if the Fed moves to lower rates this year. Fed Chair Powell came out today and said, they don't want to move rates too quickly to hinder the progress that they've made on inflation. But it does look like the rate cuts are coming. As of right now, it seems to be in September. And in response, we did see bonds sell off on the news. So duration leading the sell off lower. That's pretty normal to see. And I actually do want to see duration lead the sell off lower. We could be forming a lower high compared to that high we had back in June here in bonds. But the reason why I want to see duration lead any sell off lower in bonds is because once the Fed begins to cut, they wouldn't have to cut as much to re-steepen the yield curve. I do think we'll see the economy slow down in a minor cyclical correction unfold in stocks. Been talking about the 10, well, previously it was 15-25%. Now I'm kind of eyeing a 10 to 15% pullback at some point this year for equities. But we'll probably see an economic slowdown. And the reason why I want to see long-term rates rise is because the Fed won't have to cut as much to re-steepen the curve. Generally speaking, the more they have to cut, the more aggressive they have to be, the faster they have to be, the steeper the recession. So if you have, long-term yields, 30-year yields getting back up around 5%, that's a good thing for the overall economy. It means more inflation, but it does mean that any forthcoming recession likely wouldn't be that severe. And we did see the US dollar rebound in response. We've been talking about long positions in the dollar, short the yen, and short the euro in those September future contracts. So that is panning out accordingly. I do want to pivot and take a look at some of the Magnificent Seven names, starting off with Tesla. We did put out a swing long idea here on July 1st when we broke out from this rounding bottom pattern. We had an upside target at 265, which was just satisfied. And this enabled us to capture a 26% gain on that position in a little bit over a week. So that was a really nice swing trade, exactly what we're looking for with these types of opportunities. But it's not just Tesla that I'm seeing good price action within the Magnificent Seven. I still really like Apple, rallied to a new all-time high. I have an upside target in Apple in the 250, 260 zone. Google made a new all-time high. I still think this one has legs and it could rally another $20 to $30 at least. Microsoft saw a little bit of selling today. I'd like to see this one go into some sideways consolidation and really just build a new base, but it's been a pretty strong stock thus far. But I also did share some long ideas on Meta platforms, a potential breakout here from an ascending triangle formation, a continuation pattern that I think could lead to significantly higher prices in the coming weeks and months. So, sector rotation is the lifeblood of bull markets, chips led, tech led. I'm keen on biotech, but I'm also a big precious metal bull. I really liked how we finished out the week on Friday in both gold and silver, finishing near the highs of the week. A little bit of a sell-off yesterday, but a nice snapback rally today. A lot of our names that have been in the back up the truck category saw explosive rallies. I'm looking to park the truck, so to speak, on Anglo Gold Ashanti if and when this stock hits 31. You can see where we started buying this stock back here in late February, early March, and it's been a really good trade for myself and other members here at TheoTRADE. You take a look at Agnico Eagle Mines, another back up the truck play, but all the other precious metal plays that we've kind of honed in on, focusing on relative strength and the ones that have exhibited leadership during this rally. Eldorado Gold looking strong, Alamos Gold looking strong. Wheat and precious metals down a little bit today, mainly flat, but I like how we completed a higher low on that recent pullback. And of course, Pan American Silver. I think the price action in these continues to be strong and does foreshadow higher prices ahead. If you want to take a look at cryptocurrencies, a little bit of a bid here in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Overall, still seeing some laggard price action in names like MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Mara. Nothing really to get excited about. If we are forming a low of significance here in Bitcoin, I wouldn't be surprised to see these names snap back. Hut seeing a little bit of selling, but it's been a big winner for us so far, so I'm not really in a rush to sell it. But, just to kind of review some of the other big tech names that we've been watching and trading, Arista Networks hit a new all-time high today, seeing a little bit of selling. Vico Instruments hit a new multi-year high yesterday. But a lot of these names seem like they're due for consolidation. If you take a look at XLK, the technology ETF, this is very much in a bull trend. And if we are going to see a pullback, I think it's going to be temporary and really kind of shake out the excessive bullish sentiment that we have in this space. But I am keen on this money rotating into biotech. I think that if IBB starts closing above this 140.89 level, and in the case of XBI above 95.16, you start getting closes above there, this biotech sector could very easily go parabolic, and a lot of names in that space that have been kind of forgotten. Remember that biotech was one of the strongest performing sectors in the market in the first half of the 2010s. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but just for context, just to really hammer home the point, because I may be one of the biggest biotech bulls in this entire market. Look at where we formed that peak in 2015. We are, maybe a little bit more than 20% above that, and we're 9 years ahead from that high, 9 years later from that high in 2015. This is a tremendous opportunity in a sector that has an element of defensiveness due to its association with healthcare, but also an element of growth due to the innovation and ingenuity that comes out of this space all the time. So I'm a big bull. I think that if the Fed moves to cut, it could kind of help some of these companies that don't really have the best balance sheets, a lot of debt, poor cash flow. They really rely on debt to operate. And so big biotech boom, you're going to keep hearing me talk about that until something unfolds technically that nullifies that outlook. But keep an eye on this sector, talking about trade ideas all the time with this. And that's really all that I wanted to discuss today. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the TheoTRADE chat room.